All right there, everyone. The Robert Mueller hearing has been a disaster for the Democrats. That's what we'll be talking about on today's video. We'll also be talking about why this Mueller fiasco is spelling even more disaster for the Democrats in 2020. But first, if you're not using a VPN, a virtual private network on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device while browsing the internet, then you really are exposing yourself to a lot of potential danger. But thanks to our good friends over at Virtual Shield, protecting yourself from hackers and identity theft has never been easier. And to make it even better, Virtual Shield is offering a 4th of July celebration special of 20% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons for as low as just $3 a month. So don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Click on the link below and sign up for a free 30-day trial on Virtual Shield VPN today. Chris Wallace over at Fox News said it best, gang. This hearing has been nothing short of a disaster for the Democratic Party, and for a number of reasons. First and foremost, there was, of course, no new bombshells, no new information that would incriminate President Trump or those around him. Mueller himself said as much before the hearings. He said he wasn't going to add any new information that wasn't already in the report that he didn't quite know what was about. But the report that so destroyed the hopes and the dreams of the Democrats those few months back. So there's been nothing here. And Mueller himself, I mean, did you see him? I mean, look, he just appeared to be, frankly, somewhere else. He often sputtered. He looked confused. Again, he often didn't know what was in the report. He didn't even recognize the whole Fusion GPS fiasco when it was brought up to him, right? He didn't know what they were talking about. Fusion GPS was the opposition research that produced the fake anti-Trump dossier that was used to get warrants to spy on the Trump campaign and even used to try to create a coup to remove the president by the deep state from within, as it were. The Republicans tore into him, Mueller. He just sat there silent, stone-faced, really no response. He was often flustered and asked lawmakers to repeat their questions. And so Wallace concluded this is nothing short of a disaster for the Democrats. And I think Wallace is the first of many more pundits to come out who are going to admit that this was a very, very bad day for the Democrats. And it was so predictable. I mean, it really was. It was so predictable precisely because there was no rational reason for holding these hearings. Nothing new was going to come out of it. No new revelations, no new bombshells, nothing, nada. And so that's why we argued in our last video that the only possible rationale for why the Democrats did this was in the hope of, in their words, resurrecting the whole Russian collusion and obstruction of justice charge against the president in such a way that it might just remind voters that he's corrupt and needs to be impeached or at the very least voted out of office. The Democrats were hoping that Bob Mueller's testimony, and by the way, we had a great comment in our last video from Robert Lombardo. We were pointing out that these are a bunch of circus clowns, these swampy Democrats. And Robert brilliantly observed that if this is all just a circus sideshow, doesn't that make Robert Mueller Sideshow Bob? Right? Pretty cool. Any Simpson fans there? All right. Thank you, Sir Lombardo. That was awesome. Well, the Democrats were hoping that the testimony of Sideshow Bob would be enough to resurrect what they thought would be their political leverage to try to take Trump out either through impeachment or by thwarting his chances for re-election, which of course entails beating him with one of their pathetic choices among their Democratic nominees, and of course with the help of the willing accomplices in the media. They were hoping Mueller would at least give them something, just the testimony itself, so they can run around via the media and say this is just the single most corrupt administration in our history, and it's racist, and it's bigoted, and so via the media. Did I mention the media's role in this? The only reason for all of this time and expense, keep in mind taxpayer expense, the only reason for it is to try to resuscitate the issue of collusion and obstruction of justice to hang on President Trump. And the only reason why they're trying to do that is because the Democrats know, and this is what we talked about in our last video here, the Democrats know that collusion and obstruction is all they have. They don't have any other way of stopping the Trump train from winning re-election in 2020. They know that. They know there's not a single one of their D-list candidates that's going to win as things stand. I mean, this is Joe Biden's third attempt at becoming president. We've never, in the history of our republic, elected a third-time candidate. We don't elect third-timers, largely because they're still tainted with the reasons why we didn't elect them the first two times, right? Biden is not going to get elected. Sanders isn't even impressing Democrats at this point. He can't even pay his own staff the $15 per hour that he arrogantly requires all other employers to pay. Kamala Harris is a joke. She's going nowhere. She has too much baggage. Elizabeth Warren is still trying to become the first Native American to win the presidency. She's a joke. Honest Democrats are coming to terms with the fact that no candidate is going to beat Trump in 2020. And on top of all that, it's virtually impossible to unseat a sitting president in a re-election. It's only happened twice since 1960. And with Trump's estimated $2 billion war chest that he'll have for 2020, I mean, there's really nothing Democrats can do at this point. So the one thing they had, at least they thought, was the Mueller report, with the promise of the indictments flying around for collusion and obstruction of justice. Right? CNN had that 24/7 leading up to the Mueller. They thought Trump was toast, that he could be indicted, or at least, he would get impeached. That's all the Democrats had and are still hoping for and longing for here with these hearings. They're hoping that Mueller would say something, anything, that could justify getting the impeachment machine revved up. But alas, nothing. Mueller simply sputtered and looked flustered and confused. He didn't know what was in the report half the time, so I guess it's not that important, is it? Nice try, Democrats. But once again, all you've accomplished is another political disaster for the increasingly fledgling political left. Now, I made mention of it, but before you go, make sure to check out my video that I just put up on the real reason why the Democrats are holding these hearings. And that's because, I'll give it to you right now, they really do believe Trump is going to win re-election in 2020. But I think the video will make your day. So make sure to click on the top right corner of this video, and I'll see you over there. God bless.